What's up, Stu?
Hello, Jim. How are you,
How's it
sir?
going?
I'm good.
Oh, good. And how's your latest book going?
Selling them. Selling books, Jim. That's what I'm doing.
Selling that book.
Yep.
Have you finished the course based on the book, which is one of the 42 ways to make money because of a book?
No, but I am working on it. It
Okay.
is getting done. It's probably going to take me a couple of
Don't you say months.
no, couple of series of videos.
Okay.
Like I'm trying to think, do I want to do like a 3-part series or just make it a 2-part series? I'm not sure. So, it's a lot to put into one series, one show. So I'm
Oh,
debating on
you
that.
mean you mean segments, not series,
Segments. Yeah.
segments. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
I actually would recommend that you keep the segments based on the chapters, and that way people can, if you're going to do that, and then keep it digestible.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I would think
that.
originally I was thinking 10
Hmm.
segments for 10 chapters,
Hmm.
but at the same time, that would be easy for me as far
Hmm.
as doing the shows versus
Hmm.
like doing like 5 chapters at a time or something.
Yeah.
Um, so I may go back to that. I may
Okay.
I
Well,
may I may go back to that. That
the way
that'd
I
be an
think about it,
easy process. Like 10 30 minutes segments would be
uh,
perfect.
yeah, or 10, 20-minute segments would be even better
Okay,
because people don't want to go to college.
that's true.
So I see it's interesting though, that mindset. Me, I'm like, hey, I'm just gonna bust it out for like 3 hours nonstop and then chop it up. That's the way I would do it, but that's just me because
Mm.
you know me, I'm in love with the sound of my own voice and act like I'm getting paid by the word. So there you go. Speaking of getting paid by the word, Stu, big doings coming up next week. What's
Write your
happening
book
next week, Stu?
AI. Write your book.ai. I assume that is a web page.
Oh my God,
Even
dude.
cooler.
It's the writeyourbook.ai book writing challenge kicks off on
I know that.
Monday. Oh,
I know that.
okay. I didn't. I apologize.
I just
Um,
it's like I am new to seeing .ai. I know I have it on CopyandContent.AI,
mhm,
WriteYourBook.ai now.
uh-huh.
So that is a legit web page
Oh,
as well
yeah.
as a book writing. That's cool.
Absolutely. people people don't want to go to college, Jim Edwards. I wanted to go to college because I wanted to hang out with girls and drink beer.
Mm.
But then my academic achievements just supported my aspirations of hanging out with girls and drinking beer. But I digress. So, Stu, lots of
Yes.
cool things going on with the writeyourbook.ai challenge. And so we're going to be talking about that today. What's
Cool.
new, what's different, what people can expect, what's actually going to be happening, why it's cool. We're going to demo some stuff, which is pretty slick and neat. And we just got lots of stuff. So I think we could actually just start with
Some
what we're going to
demos.
be. We're
Demo some new stuff for us. You know
wouldn't
what
it
I'm
be?
excited to see, Jim? Sorry to interrupt you. I'm excited to see what is different between this Write Your Book challenge and the previous Write Your Book challenges.
Okay. Well, 100%. And
Yes.
I want to show you that, Stu. And I think what I would like to do first, though, is to explain kind of the process that we're going to walk everybody through so that they can see that A, it's legit, B, that they're going to be able to get that result. And what I tell everybody, if you'll just show up for 90 to 120 minutes a day, so an hour and a half, 2 hours a day, starting on Monday, by the following Friday, your book will be done and published on Amazon. So I'm going to share my screenage and I'm going to show you kind of the process that we're going to go through day by day. So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to define your purpose for writing the book, the audience that you're going to target with your book, and then we're going to figure out your exact topic, the type of book you're going to create, and the title. So we'll actually demonstrate the tool that we have to help you do that here while we're on the show today. Okay. So then the next day, day two, you're going to order your book cover. Right then, you're going to order that book cover. You're not going to make the book cover. Okay. You're going to order the book cover so that that's percolating. You got that going on the back burner. Then we're going to outline your book. We're going to come up with all your chapter titles, come up with all the stuff that you're going to create in the book as far as the outline and the flow of the book and all that good stuff. Then day 4 through 7, you are going to be using brand new tools to not only define your personal writing style if you want. So one of the things that people have been concerned about in the past is, hey, it doesn't sound like me. Well, now we can take stuff that you have written, analyze it, and then define your personal writing style and then make that part of the process. So everything sounds like you, looks like it's written by you, all that good stuff. Then you're going to be creating and editing your chapters as you go. Day 8, you're going to create your additional materials, author bio, intro, conclusion, your back page ad. Then day 9, you're going to finalize your book. Now, the cool thing is that unlike other things that people do to try and get a book done, what ends up happening is that they end up piling up all this stuff, and then they have this weeks, months, or years of editing, and we bake the editing into the writing and the creation process. So literally when you're done writing it, it's been edited and you're good.
Nice.
So then day 10, you're going to come up with your book description and keywords. And day 11, you're going to upload to Amazon. So if you will just show up, do what I tell you, you're going to have your book done. Now, the cool thing is that we also have lots of what I call catch-up time. Do you like ketchup on your fries, Stu?
Mm, sure.
Wow. I love
Yeah.
ketchup on my
If I
fries.
eat fries, I will eat them with ketchup.
Okay,
How's that?
well, I love ketchup, so we build in lots of ketchup.
Good.
So this thing is structured that if you get a little bit behind, there's always time to catch up. There's plenty of time. There's no time to waste, but there's plenty of time to get it done. And so again, it's kind of like somebody told me one time, if you will just show up to class and do what they tell you to do and do your homework, you will graduate. Okay. And what I'm telling you is if you will just show up to class, you will graduate. Okay. So first thing we're going to do is walk everybody through creating figuring out their title and their topic and all that good stuff. But before that, you probably ought to figure out who your target audience is, shouldn't you?
I would think so. How do you do
Okay.
that, Jim?
Well, the funny thing is that it used to take a couple hours, and now with the easy button, it just takes a couple of minutes. And some of the stuff that we do actually just feels like cheating from a couple of years ago. But literally, if we were going to, let's say, create our avatar real quick, okay? Um, we can come over here into the Avatar Junior, and we can use the easy button to have it help us come up with an avatar. So I'm going to click New Avatar, and just for fun and grins, we will create an avatar based around the kind of book that I want to write, which is Hollywood Roadkill Secrets. Okay, so we're going to teach the folks how to find, prepare, and cook gourmet roadkill because that's what you do. Y'all did that down in the Panhandle of Florida, didn't you?
Yeah. I've known people who have.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is just dictate some stuff in here, and we're going to come up with an avatar real quick. We don't have to actually, and the cool thing is you actually don't have to do this through this process. You don't even, we've got to the point now where you don't even have to define your avatar anymore, but it'd be fun to do. So I enjoy deep frying and preparing small animals I find on the side of the road as roadkill. As someone who is very concerned about global warming, sustainability, as well as having an eclectic palate, I enjoy not only eating said animals, but also helping others to engage in these practices of sustainability and eco friendly foodie behavior. All right. So now we're going to hit the easy button. Dave is really looking forward to this. Well, I'm looking forward to you looking forward to it. All right. So current identity is an eco conscious foodie, and they want to become a sustainable culinary expert. Actually like this. So you're my avatar, an eco-conscious foodie who dreams of becoming a sustainable culinary expert. Currently, you're focused on sustainable eating practices. Ultimately, you want to contribute to environmental sustainability. Right this minute, you'd be ecstatic if you could explore unique culinary experiences. Unfortunately, you need to still figure out how to source sustainable food creatively. You're also frustrated by the fact that food choices impact the environment. How can you make eco-friendly choices? You're hung up on the idea that commercial food production is unsustainable, and was all said and done, you just want to support environmental conservation through food. Now, hey, man, that sounds like I could get on the news. That sounds like good stuff, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to save as eco-friendly foodie. You know, the funny thing is I joke around about this roadkill secrets thing, but I bet if I actually just sat down and wrote a book on it, it would probably sell.
Yeah. I think there is one out there. Didn't we
Oh,
look
okay.
at this before?
I don't know. I mean, I probably should do a little research, but okay. So I got my avatar done. So what we're going to do now is we are literally going to have this help us to brainstorm a book idea and a topic. Okay. So to do that, we are going to use here we go, we'll do a new one, but we're going to use the book idea topic title Brainstorm Genie. Okay. So we'll click new, and I'm literally just going to put in the stuff that I put in before. Okay. The one thing I'm going to tell it though I haven't really ever done this before. I'm going to tell it I have an idea for a title. I already have an idea for a title. Hollywood Roadkill Secrets. I just want to see what it does. I have no idea what it's going to do. I mean, actually grab that domain too, just for grins. Like I keep doing this. Someday I'll just do it. So now it's going to give us a chance to come up with book ideas and topics, and also brainstorm specific book titles. And we've got 4 main types of nonfiction business books that you can write. So frequently asked questions is going to be kind of a general topic thing. How to get results is a way to achieve some sort of an outcome. Mistakes to avoid, obviously, is stuff you shouldn't do and what you should do instead. And then the step-by-step roadmap is a specific recipe for getting a result. And pretty much all the business books that I have studied and figured out and looked at the different categories, all of them fall into one of these 4 categories. So we're going to have it do the FAQ. Okay. So we're going to have it generate some stuff with some topic ideas, and then we'll have it generate some title ideas. Susan has found a couple of books on roadkill.
Yeah, you got some competition, Jim.
But you know what? They look kind of they don't look up to date. Okay.
Yeah, they also sell on thrift books.
Yeah.
So I didn't see any on Amazon, but I didn't
Okay.
also
Well,
search that well.
Well, that's good to know. Good to know. Good to know. Okay. So, first thing he came up with was some ideas for us for a book. All right. So, a book about sustainable gourmet cooking with unconventional ingredients. I love how this whole thing tries to be politically correct around this.
Yeah,
And like,
it's so funny.
it's like for real. A book about roadside foraging for culinary delights for home cooks, foraging enthusiasts, and nature lovers interested in sustainable eating. And then each one of them will tell you why it's a good idea for a book and why it's a good idea for you to write it. I do like this roadside foraging. Sounds really highbrow as
Mm,
opposed to, just roadkill collection with the rusty red flyer wagon and a pitchfork, you know? Just
mm-hmm.
saying. It's an art of eco-friendly deep frying. Wonder if you could eco fry. I wonder if you could eco-friendly deep fry without contributing to global warming. That. I mean, you really want to put it over the top. Book about cultural history of roadkill cuisine. Hey, look, combine my history degree from William and Mary with this
Mm.
passion. Come on. Okay, so let's look down here for some titles. Waste not, feast not, dude. From road to table.
These are good.
Eclectic eats, roadside recipes, the art of primal cooking, dirt to dinner, roadkill revival, sustainable gourmet, eating green, nature's gift from roadkill to feast. Okay, so I really do. I almost want to like take this
From road to
and make
table.
this. Okay, so I'm gonna modify some stuff on this because this is the new title of Hollywood Roadkill Secrets. Um, from road to table, a guide to culinary adventures with nature's forgotten delicacies. Dude, that's hot. Okay,
Mm.
so our process now. I mean, I'm just walking you through this now. We've got our idea, we've got our title. So now what we need to do, and we know that this is a how-to guide, right? So the next thing that we would do is we would come up with the outline for the book. What are we going to be, what are we actually going to be teaching? You want to do that, Stu?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Stu's like, heck yeah, I
Yeah,
paid.
this is fun.
I paid for this. Um, so we got to come up with our book interview questions. So we're going to do that. I just got to pull up the genie. Okay. So this is going to help us come up with all the questions that we're going to ask. And this has been redone absolutely um, from the ground up. And this was an example that I used. So what type of book are we going to be creating? All right. It's going to be what we say it was a how to, it was an FAQ book. What kind of book did we say we were doing? Or we didn't really say.
Mm-mm.
Okay. We'll do it as an FAQ book. All right. So the title, subtitle of the book, and if we want to use the easy button just to make this super easy, I'm going to take the title of the book. I'm going to jam it over in here into the easy button. I guess if we're going to do a how to. Okay. Um, how to get results, the audience. So now we already created our avatar. So if we want, we can load our avatar. Um, So style of interview, I usually do like BuzzFeed or Entrepreneur, one of those. That's just kind of like the style of the questions that it'll ask. But now what we're doing is, and this is something that's really cool and new, what we're going to have it do is come up with a list of questions that we can answer in order to create the content for the book. So, by the way, this also works really well for a podcast. So, this has
Uh-huh.
all the interview questions that it's going to ask. Now, some new stuff, Stu.
Sweet.
We can now translate these questions into chapter titles and types of questions, which is going to come in really handy here in a minute, and I'll explain why. And then we have something else too, because remember, I told you however much you create is however big your book's going to be. All right. And so we said during the process, day 4 through 7 or whatever it is, you're going to be creating content. So from curiosity to cooking, my journey to sustainable eating with roadkill. That's going to be the chapter title. And that's going to be the answer to this question. It tells us the type of question. Now, this is where it's cool if you're for somebody, because some people want to create a book that's kind of like copywriting secrets. I had 31 secrets in here. So some of them were only, a couple, 3 pages long. So some people want longer chapters. So dig this. So here's all the questions with a corresponding title, but watch this. Now we can, Susan keeps looking up these roadkill books, which are cool. Maybe I'll see if any of them in the public
you you
domain. How
you
to
have some
cook roadkill like a 1930s hobo.
you have competition in this market, Jim.
No, I have no competition, man. I was running this morning doing my Stu Smith workout, and you should see the ditches that I have to run by on where I live now, man. It's a veritable cornucopia of roadkill
Oh.
culinary possibilities. Okay.
Mm.
We got fowl, we have beasts, we have domesticated, wild. Dude, while this thing, and you're like, why is it taking so long? When you see this thing, what it pops out is going to be amazing. But do you want to see? I'm going to show you a picture, which is totally off topic. Okay. But not for this. So I'm going to show you this. Yes, I digress. I don't know if you can see that. That's Terry's car in the carport.
Yep,
You see
yep, yep.
that?
I see
Okay.
something in the back. What is that? Oh, okay, there you go. Yeah.
That is one of the biggest deer I've ever seen in my life. Just standing in the yard looking at me like, what are you doing?
It looks like
So
a 150 pounder.
it was a big deer. So anyway, I hope that one doesn't end up as roadkill. Okay. So now look what it did. It took each one of those chapters or each one of those questions. Now it gives you the chapter title, the main question. And then if you want to expand on this, it also gives you a couple of sub questions that you can answer to expand that specific chapter. This is going to be important. So now we have come up with the title of our book, topic of our book. We have all the outline and the questions and all that stuff. And when we go through the course, you're not going to answer all of these probably, but we're going to go through, show you how to choose, and you're going to assemble and choose the ones that you want to do. But now, Stu, this is where people have complaints about AI in the past, which I understand. They say, hey, it doesn't sound like me. It doesn't look like me. It's not my ideas. My buddy Sue Emily told me that like a year and a half ago. She said, hey, man, look, the AI doesn't know what I know, and I need a way to be able to use the AI to be able to get to do stuff. And that was like a breakthrough for me.
Mm.
So now instead of having AI try to replace you, we have AI that is going to suck it out of your head and create the chapter. So watch this. We have a brand new tool, Stu, brand new.
Cool.
And this tool is like the genie is now your friend. And that is the book chapter interview Genie Bot. And what this does is it interviews you about your question to create your book. So what we're going to do is we're going to just real quick create the content that we're going to use to create a chapter. And we're going to do it without having to type a word.
Mm.
So we're going to choose approximate interview length 200, 350, 500, 1,000. Not specified means you keep talking like you're getting paid by the word. But we'll do short. Now, the 200 words corresponds to how much content you actually give the genie as it is asking you questions. Okay. So we'll just do the 200. And so as it's going through, it's going to give a number each time it responds to me. That number is it keeping track of the count of my words that it has given, that I've given it. Okay. So that's why it's saying a word. So the question that we're going to answer is over here in the book interview questions. We're just going to do this. I would normally print this out or download this as a Word doc, but we're just going to go from here. Okay. So my question is this. That's the question I want to answer. And it's a who question. All right. So there are main types questions: who, what, where, when, why, how, and how much. So this is going to be a who question. We'll do allow rich text formatting. Now we come down here, we make sure that the voice controls are on. We're going to do auto send medium, which is basically how long I can pause before it just automatically sends the response. We'll do conversation and we'll do read responses out loud. So we will start the interview.
Welcome. What's your name and the title of your book? Which specific question should I ask for today's interview?
My name is Jim Edwards, and the title of my book is Hollywood Roadkill Secrets.
Thanks. Specifically influenced your interest in sustainable eating, especially incorporating roadkill. Can you share any stories about them? 0.
So I think the person who influenced me the most about eating roadkill is my Uncle Tommy, who is a very interesting character. He has been a fixture in my life since I was a little kid. He was an Eagle Scout and was the crazy uncle that everybody just loved. He was always into hunting and scouting and all that good stuff. He was the first person ever to take me and shoot guns and do all that stuff. And so I really got my interest in eating roadkill from him because he was quite the adventurous outdoorsman.
What specific behaviors or beliefs did Uncle Tommy have about roadkill that fascinated or inspired you? Any memorable moments together? 75.
So one of the things that always inspired me about Uncle Tommy is he did not care what other people thought about him. And he was always curious and asking questions like what if or why not. Didn't worry about people looking down their noses at him and always figured that something was worth a try at least once. And so one of my most memorable moments with him was actually when I got stung by a Portuguese man of war, and he pulled me out of the ocean and got me all fixed up. And I realized that the dude was just super cool, and I would just do anything he thought was cool. So we've spent a lot of time together in the woods and along roadsides finding delicious nuggets of food along the way.
How did your experiences with Uncle Tommy shape your views on responsibility regarding using roadkill? What values did he impart? 183.
So one of the things that he taught me was that if it's on the side of the road and nothing's eating it, then it's just going to waste. And so it's actually the ultimate respect you can pay to an animal is not to just let it sit there and rot, but actually to have it go to a good cause or to have it not go to waste. That's actually honoring and respecting the animal as opposed to looking at it as something that's just refuse on the side of the road. So it's honoring and respecting the spirit of the animal and the potential for it as a resource.
Thank you for the insightful responses, Jim. Do you have anything else you'd like to add or clarify about your experiences? 290.
I just want to say that a lot of people will look down their nose at the thought of even eating roadkill, but it's something that is a legitimate food source. And one thing that nobody really thinks about is that roadkill typically doesn't have any antibiotics in it, any hormones, GMO, any of the strange stuff that happens in livestock that's raised in industrial farming.
Thank you, Jim, for sharing your story and thank you, Jim, for your time and sharing your experiences. If you ever want to dive deeper, feel free to reach out.
So what did I just do? I just created a whole lot of content that is my content from my ideas, my input from answering that question. And we're using kind of a fun, fanciful thing, but it's got a serious outcome. So we can click download. And what that does is that now downloads that entire interview. All right. All my content and stuff. So then the question is, how do we turn that into a book chapter? Is that your question, Stu? You're muted.
That is my question, Jim.
Okay. So what we can do is we can actually use the brand new, and when I say brand new, I mean brand spanking new nonfiction book chapter question answer genie. Now this is pretty slick how this works, okay? I'm going to click new project, and all I'm going to do is, and this is truly the easy button, I'm going to copy all of this from that interview and I'm going to pop it into the easy button. Okay. And I'm just going to hit the easy button. Now I can load some other stuff too, but audience, adventurous food enthusiast. So I can just go ahead and load my profile. Load the avatar. And the experience level of my audience, let's say that they're beginners. Now, what question are we answering? Was, can you share your background and what led you to explore? So I'm actually going to put this in here.
Cool.
What type of question is this? Again, this is a who question. Now, title of this chapter. We got this, so we're going to put that in there. Purpose of this chapter is to explain my background with eating roadkill and conclusion that we want people to come to is respect nature by utilizing available resources. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, in the answer, I'm just going to paste in that entire interview. Now, down here, how long do I want the chapter? So what we want to do is choose a length that kind of corresponds with how much content we actually gave it. So since it told me I had about 300 words that I gave it on my own stuff, I'm going to choose 500. Why? Because as soon as I ask it for more than I actually give it, it starts making stuff up. So you can toggle it in, but anyway, we'll explain that during the challenge. Now, down here under writing style options, we have what we had before. You could choose your overall writing style based on a publication, writing tone, conversational. This is something new that we have added. So during the challenge, we'll have a way for you to be able to analyze your personal writing styles. So if you have written stuff before, then you can actually create your own writing style, save it in your user profile, and then you'll be able to load it. So this is my writing style from actually analyzing my writing from the Copywriting Secrets book. So now we're going to have it write the chapter with my writing style based on all the content that I just created there in about 5 minutes. So it's my ideas, it's my content, it's my stuff in my writing style. And then we can also do summary bullets, high drama hooks, and then even some potential elaboration questions based on what I did. The Genie's now going to give me ideas for additional questions that I can create. But let's read a little of this, all right? Growing up, I spent a lot of time with my Uncle Tommy. He was the kind of guy everyone loved. He was adventurous, always curious, and had lots of interesting stories. Uncle Tommy was an Eagle Scout, which means he learned how to survive in the wild. He taught me many things, including a unique way to think about food. The special interest of his, roadkill. Now, you might be asking, what is roadkill? Well, it's a term used when animals get hit by cars. Instead of just leaving them on the side of the road to waste away, Uncle Tommy showed me something very special. He believed if an animal was there and nobody was taking it, we could collect it and make something good out of it. He thought it wasn't just a tragic waste, but a way to show respect to the animal. By using his food, we honor its spirit. Amazing, right? Now, does that sound like what I was telling you?
Yes.
Yeah. So that little bit was translated into about 600 words. We've got our summary bullets. Okay. These are pretty cool, especially when you're telling a story. So these give you different ways of being able to introduce the chapter. And then if we wanted to make the chapter longer, we could literally take now it gives you a subchapter title. Adventures in Gathering. I could tell a story about the first time so anyway, we can then take these, throw them in the paragraph genie, do the same thing with the interview, and just create content till the cows come home, to our heart's content. I mixed my metaphors there. But this is absolutely, it's just, this is the most streamlined process we have ever had to just run through this process to create content and write your content, turn your content into a book that we've ever had. And so this is absolutely going to revolutionize book creation and all of content creation. Because what are we doing by doing this? All right. There's a split in the road right now. If you come to a fork in the road, Stu, what do?
Take it.
Very good. One group of people are looking to just replace themselves with AI, even to the point where they don't even want to appear on camera. They want to appear on camera one time and then have the AI make it look like they're on camera. They don't want to write anything, say anything, commit to anything, or do anything, but they expect to get paid. That might work for a while in the gap, but eventually, if you replace yourself, that means you're no longer necessary. The other group of people are the ones who are looking to accelerate and amplify their own voice using AI. Stu, let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Do you use Grammarly?
Every day.
Is it cheating?
No.
In fact, is Grammarly not accepted now in many academic situations? I mean, like Grammarly is like you hear a teacher saying, "Hey, make sure before you little idiots give that to me, you run it through Grammarly because I'm tired of reading your crap."
Yeah.
Maybe that was at my high school.
Yeah, I mean, it is. In fact, my editors at military.com, Like it when I use Grammarly because it
Right.
makes their job easier.
So
Yeah.
my point is that Grammarly is not cheating.
No.
Grammarly is just helping you accelerate and amplify your own voice. Well, that's exactly what we're doing. So you're either going to be on this side of the fence or you're going to be on that side of the fence. If you're on that side of the fence, you're going to end up as roadkill. If you're on this side of the fence, you're going to end up being able to share your soul with people, which of course are your stories, your opinions, unique perspective, and your lessons learned. So that's really what we're doing with all of this. And that's the philosophy that we have moving forward. This isn't about replacing anybody. This is about helping you to amplify and accelerate your voice. So I thought that was kind of fun. Show some demos of the stuff. We'd love to have you join us. This is going to be the last time that the WriteYourBook.AI is done at a price that is so unbelievably low that I'm embarrassed to actually have you do it. For people who are members of CopyandContent.AI already, you can join for just 97 bucks. Literally, you're going to get 2 weeks of coaching from me, professional coaching from our staff, and everybody being just on the same page. We're going to have a Facebook group community built around this. I've got a whole bunch of bonuses and other things built into it that I haven't promised that we're going to over deliver with. If you're not a member of CopyandContent.AI yet, you can join for 197 bucks at WriteYourBook.AI, and you'll get a free month of CopyandContent.AI. It is also a free month. No strings attached. You will not be automatically rebilled. And so you'll be able to go through not only and use all these tools, just a few of which I demonstrated for you here, but you'll also get access, complete elite access to the entire site, run of the site, access everything that we have in there for elite members. And if you choose to stay a member, you will keep access to all of the tools that we use in this challenge. So as long as you stay a member, you'll keep access to them so you can go through it as many times as you want. And obviously, there's a whole lot of other uses for these tools as well that you'd be able to, just if you can't see that you could do this and create an amazing like free report or something else, then we need to mainline some cappuccino into you or something. So anyway, I'm really excited about this, but this is the last time it's going to be at this pricing level. Next time we do it, minimum price on it's going to be between $500 and $1,000. And we're even putting together some other ones that are going to be like $3,000. So this is it. I've got this thing so dialed in. We've got the process. We've got everything. This is just kind of the last flight before it takes off and becomes the Concorde that you have to pay a premium in order to get there fast. Might not be the best metaphor because the Concorde's not operating anymore. But anyway, I'll work on that. So I don't know what else to say, Stu. I mean, I was just kind of like just showing you what we're doing, how it's going, and all that good stuff. What questions or thoughts do you have?
My last question is, what else is new, Jim? Like in this process, like I know you have new genies, newly enabled genies. What's new compared to the last time we did this?
So I think that what's new compared to the last time we did this primarily is the tools, the upgrade of the tools, the introduction of additional tools. That interview chatbot is pretty freaking amazing. I mean, people are making fun of his voice, but it's like, dude, that's like, I don't want it to sound like a human.
Yeah.
You're talking to a bot.
Yes.
What else is new about this?
Easy buttons.
All the easy buttons that it's like we don't have to do steps that we used to have to do. I mean,
Right.
it's the easy button and the fact that you can dictate into the easy button, you can write a book without typing a word if you think about it.
Damn.
And that's I I have also taken the best of every challenge that we've ever done and put it into a day by day, step by step process to eliminate so many things that people are struggling with and do struggle with through the process, that shows that we actually understand the process, how to streamline it, how to help you avoid problems. It's like, as we go through, every time you create a chapter, you're going to edit it and format it as a part of the process. So when you get done with that last chapter, your book is basically not only done, edited, but also laid out. So
You
that's
know something I learned, Jim, when I first did this, and I had written, I don't know, 30 books before I um, learned how to use this method,
mhm.
is you actually taught me. I mean, this was probably the first year Amazon had the. Remember when it was Create Space and all that? And
That was
remember that evolution?
that was like 12 years ago.
I know. Well, I didn't know how to put my book up on Amazon,
Hmm.
and I didn't know how to get a good book cover, right? And just those two things alone are worth every penny of this process. If you can write a book on your own and you have it sitting on the shelf and you just haven't like published it, do it for those two things
Right.
and it's life changing. But what I did is I had that book on the shelf ready to publish, ready to go up on Amazon. And I wrote a new book anyway because you bullied me into it. And 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 it was a number one bestseller in the category. So I mean, come on.
I actually got a lot of really good mileage out of that when, I think I did a thing. I bullied a Navy SEAL into writing a best-selling book. Or I bullied a Navy SEAL into becoming a best-selling author.
Yeah.
That was a great
I've
title.
been using that one ever since, so it's a
Um,
good one.
so I mean, I would just say that if you have ever wanted to write a book, or if you have struggled, or if you've done it already and it took forever, or even if you've been through one of the challenges that we've done in the past and you, like so many people, actually got your book done and got it published, and you're like, hey, I think I want to do another one. I would encourage you to do this, because this is the most flexible. This is the fastest, the most efficient one that we've ever done. So we're not going to make you write a mistakes book or make you write an FAQ book. You can write any kind of nonfiction business book that you want. Now, they all fall into those four categories, but they're pretty loose. And you're going to end up with a really cool business asset that is legit. And it's not AI generated, it is AI assisted. And there's a big difference, because if AI generates it, you just end up with a book that's like a giant listicle,
Mm.
as opposed to this, which is your ideas, your content, your stories, your lessons learned, all that stuff. It's just faster. So that's what I've got, Stu. And I was thinking we might do some other quick demos, but I think that was enough demos. I think that was enough.
I think so. That was a great one. And I tell you what, you should really consider that roadkill cookbook. It's hilarious.
Should we write the sales copy for it? Do you want to write the sales copy for that real fast? I think it'd be fun. Let's do
Let's
that.
do it.
I
All right.
want to do that. Let's
All
just
right.
just because it's just us. Let's write a sales letter for Hollywood Roadkill Secrets, okay?
All right.
And we're going to use the same thing that you used to write actually the sales copy for your book.
You gonna add in my my genie hack that blew you away?
Oh yeah, dude, that was crazy. That I wasn't necessarily gonna do that, but yeah, we can talk about that.
Yeah.
And make sure I save this. Um, and I'm gonna save it as I'm gonna save it as the example we'll show next. Okay.
Sure.
So, and I did save it. Okay. So what we're gonna do is Stu actually did what Stu does, which is not what I tell him to do, but what Stu wants to do, and he just starts using stuff and putting things in and hitting buttons and seeing what shows up. So we do actually, as part of the challenge, have a Amazon description genie that has been updated and all that good stuff that writes it according to the best practices with Amazon and all that stuff. But not Stu. Stu's like, I'm going to write a sales letter. So we're going to write some sales copy for the Hollywood Roadkill Secrets, okay? And I'm just going to grab the stuff that we put in the other easy button. And I had the one where I put in I guess not, or maybe it was this. Here we go. Okay, so we're going to come over here, short sales letter genie. We're going to just load this in, which I'm amazed sometimes at just what this thing will come up with, that I'm just like, wow. So we're going to load, this is my profile. Now, interestingly, it changed that. I'm going to hit that again. I can fill in my own name because what this also did was, based on this, it filled in credentials. I'm an eco-conscious chef. All right. Practice eco-friendly cooking, consumption of roadkill. My avatar. I'm just going to load the avatar from our
Who is the
eco-friendly.
avatar?
Well,
Rural
it's
Americans?
no, eco-conscious foodie, dude.
Oh,
Come on, this is highbrow. This
okay.
isn't redneck roadkill secrets. This is
Okay.
Hollywood roadkill secrets.
Oh, that's
Come
right.
on,
That's right.
man.
Sorry about
All
that.
right, so their focus, I got all this from the avatar. Main solution, Hollywood Roadkill Secrets. It's a book. Explore creative and sustainable culinary practices. Embrace eco-friendly eating habits. Expand your culinary. Dang, this is good. You can do it all without compromising your ethical values or breaking the bank. Stu, come on. Oh, your next meal. All right. Yeah, I'd give him a I'd give him a I'd give him a consultation. All right. So we can write this formulaic, we can write it according to copywriting, or we can write it disc. So we're actually going to write 3 different sales letters. Obviously, we're not going to read them all, but let's see what it comes up with, Stu, because I just love reading sales copy for this thing because it's just funny. I'm going to hit this one again up here. Did something weird. Okay. Come on. All right. Uncover the secret world of sustainable gourmet dining. Transform your kitchen into an eco-friendly haven. Discover how Hollywood's best keep the planet green dish by dish from the desk of your eco-conscious chef with culinary vision regarding master the art of culinary sustainability and reduce your ecological footprint. Sound like this is making like one of those spin press releases from back in the day. Unlock the secret to earthy, tantalizing flavors while championing the planet's health right from your kitchen. In today's fast-paced world where the environment bears the brunt of our choices, Hollywood Roadkill Secrets offers you not just a cookbook, but a movement towards culinary creativity that respects Mother Earth.
Oh,
Dude,
man. Come
I'm going
on.
to tell you right now, I'm gonna tell you right now.
That's some good stuff.
This is good. This is good stuff.
Doesn't that look good though? Doesn't that make a good description
Yes, it's
on
really
Amazon?
good. It's
I
almost better than the Amazon one we got. We'll just give everybody the choice. But look at this. Act today and start revolutionizing your meals with sustainable practices. By purchasing now, you not only gain an innovative world of eating, but also a personal consultation with an eco-conscious chef. So that's absolutely nice. So now we're going to share Stu's freaking just, I was just floored by it. So we'll do new project. And basically what Stu did was Stu took his basically his cover page and his forward
table of contents.
and his table of contents and just threw it in there and hit the easy button. And it filled in everything perfectly.
Yeah, it did.
And then we hit the build button and it wrote Stu's letter. That formulaic one acted up on the last one. I might have to go in and jiggle that around a little bit. But it was amazing. And what was more amazing was just the fact that he took all that stuff, jammed it in there, and it was perfect. That was what just got me. So anyway, this is a great sales letter. I mean, it's amazing. So, Stu, I think our
Yes, sir.
work here is done.
I
So
would agree.
I would highly suggest, if you're not a member of CopyandContent.AI, head on over to WriteYourBook.ai, join, get a free month, and also get unlimited access to the challenge. If you're already a member of CopyandContent.ai, log into the site and you'll see the link to be able to sign up for the special price for members, and then you'll keep access to all the tools as long as you stay a member, plus you'll have access to the challenge. And again, 100% serious, WriteYourBook.ai, the price on that's going up 500% on the next challenge. So this is it as far as doing it at Burger King pricing. So everybody have a great day. Look forward to seeing you on challenge. Stu, you did a great job.
Thank you, sir.
And Susan, thanks for running stuff in the back. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye, everybody.